What's up, guys? Farah here. I've been thinking a lot about kindness lately, and it's pretty mind blowing. Today, we're diving into something a little different but incredibly dope: 100 acts of kindness from all over the world in 2024. This video is all about showcasing the awesome diversity of kindness across different cultures and backgrounds. So let's check it out and see how people are making the world a better place, one act at a time. It's like upgrading the world's operating system to Kindness 2.0. Alright, so first up, we've got this global kindness movement that's been taking off. It's like when a new piece of tech goes viral, but instead of gadgets, we're talking about good deeds. You know, stuff like community cleanups. Then there are these kindness cards. They're like social currency, but for good vibes. In some places, they write notes. In others, they use digital versions. The cool thing is how different cultures put their own spin on it. In India, I saw people leaving small gifts with their cards, while in Brazil, they're adding little pieces of art. It's pretty amazing how a simple idea can adapt to so many different contexts. Now, let's talk about how communities are stepping up their game. Social media kindness challenges have been blowing up, and it's like the ice bucket challenge, but for good deeds. I've seen people from all walks of life getting involved. There was this one challenge where people had to compliment strangers, and the reactions were priceless. Another thing that's been gaining traction is organizing community events. It's like when you're hyped about a new product launch, but instead people are excited about coming together to help others. I saw this group in Mexico City that put together a massive community dinner for people experiencing homelessness. The impact was huge, not just in terms of providing a meal, but in creating connections and showing people they're valued. Speaking of social media, it's been a game changer for spreading kindness. You know how we use platforms to share our tech reviews and unboxings? Well, people are using the same tools to showcase their acts of kindness. There's this trend of kindness reels on Instagram where people document their good deeds. One of the coolest things I've seen is how influencers are using their platforms for good. Instead of just promoting products, they're promoting kindness. There was this one YouTuber who started a campaign to plant trees. For every kind act shared by their followers, they'd plant a tree. It went viral, and now there's a whole forest of kindness growing somewhere in Brazil. It's like crowdsourcing goodness, and the results are pretty impressive. Imagine if we could harness that kind of engagement for every good cause out there. You know how sometimes the smallest tech upgrades can totally change your user experience? It's the same with kindness. I saw this video of a guy in Seoul who started complimenting strangers on the subway. Another simple but powerful act is raking leaves for a neighbor. In places like Canada and Japan, where there are lots of older folks living alone, this simple act can be a huge help. They even made an app to coordinate their efforts. It's like Uber, but for yard work, and it's free. Food banks are getting a high-tech makeover. I saw this one in Singapore that uses AI to optimize food distribution and reduce waste. Volunteers there aren't just handing out food, they're part of this super efficient, tech-driven operation. There's this trend of skill donations where professionals offer their services for free to those who can't afford them. I saw a dentist in Brazil who set up a mobile clinic in underserved areas, and a coder in Kenya who's teaching kids in rural areas how to build websites. It's like they're donating a piece of their knowledge base, and the impact is huge. There's this group in Australia called the Kindness Crew that goes around surprising people with acts of kindness. One day, they're paying for people's coffee. The next, they're leaving encouraging notes on car windshields. It's like they're beta testing kindness in the real world. There's an app called Kind Spot that lets you mark locations where you've done a kind act, and others can see it and get inspired to do something in their area. It's like Pokemon Go, but instead of catching monsters, you're spreading kindness. There's this initiative in the US called Culture Kitchen, where immigrants teach cooking classes, sharing their traditional recipes while telling their stories. It's not just about the food. It's about building understanding and connection between different communities. It's like a cultural exchange program, but with added flavor. Now, let's talk about bridging the generation gap with kindness. There's been a huge push to connect younger and older generations, and the results are pretty heartwarming. I saw this program in Japan called Grandpa Gamers, where teens teach seniors how to play video games. It's not just about the games though. It's creating this awesome bond between generations that wouldn't normally hang out together. It's like cross-platform compatibility, but for people. To wrap things up, I want to share some of the most inspiring kindness stories I've come across. There's this guy in Kenya who started a bicycle library. He rides around rural areas with a bike full of books, lending them out to kids who don't have access to libraries. It's like a bookmobile, but way more eco-friendly and personal. The impact on literacy rates in these areas has been huge. It's like he's providing a physical version of ebooks to kids who don't have access to the internet. So, there you have it, guys. 100 acts of kindness from around the world. It's pretty incredible to see how people are using creativity, technology, and good old-fashioned compassion to make the world a better place. I hope this video has inspired you to spread some kindness in your own way. Remember, it doesn't have to be big or flashy. Sometimes the smallest acts can make the biggest difference. If you do something kind, share it and inspire others. It's like creating a viral trend, but for goodness. Thanks for watching, and as always, peace.